How you doing, guys? It is a crazy world today, and it is shocking that we are down 86%. So new buyers today have 86% less purchasing power than they did for their fathers when they were 20. Now, if you want to remember what this is like, man, there are some shocking things. Just reflect back on what it was for your parents and your grandparents. That's what we're going to be getting into today. So if we jump right into the story today, this is an article that was out, and it's talking about Gen Z today, the millennials today. They have 86% less purchasing power than the baby boomers did when they were 20. Here's the thing. My own father had 6 kids. My mom stayed at home. We were able to have a vehicle, right? And we had enough food, though we clipped a lot of coupons. You guys remember that, clipping coupons? We did that. We shopped frugally, but we were 6 kids. We had a house. We had a vehicle. I'm thinking back to my grandfather. My grandfather had 4 kids of his own, and he adopted a kid. He worked by himself. He had his own house, his own car. Many people that I grew up with on a regular one-person wage also had a cottage. Today, for you to have even a condo, it would require the mother be working, the father be working, maybe even having a side job or a side hustle of some kind in the house. It's so much more expensive today in order to be able to make it on the same wages. Now, this article goes on to say about Gen Z is 86% less purchasing power than baby boomers did. This is kind of quite shocking, don't you think? Let's jump right into this article. It says that millennials and Gen Z aren't broke because of avocado toast. They're broke because prices have shot up and wages have not kept pace. Let's repeat that. They are broke because prices have shot up and wages have not kept pace. There is the reason right there. That's the entire article. But it's interesting what they were looking at. This new study by Customer Review, they went over through Consumer Affairs, U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, U.S. Census, National Association of Realtors, and the Education Data Board, all to figure out how much money that they have and how much they've lost. Now, real wages are down. It says Gen Z is 86% less purchasing power than their parents when they were in their 20s. And they have seen wages go up 80% since the time your parents were in your 20s, 80% up. Sounds pretty good, right? But Consumer Price Index has increased 500%. So now that 80% increase in wages doesn't sound very good, does it? So it's all about the amount that the CPI went up. The Consumer Price Index went up 500%. And that's a whole other story, right? Because they're not representing the truth behind what the real inflation is. Housing. It says here that housing on average today is $309,000. Well, I don't know where they're getting $309,000 as the average, to be honest. But in the 70s, the average, it says here, was $24,800. $185,000 in today's money. So no matter how they cut it, even though these numbers are skewed, they're still showing you that homes are way, way up. The cost for colleges, for public university, is up 310%. Gas is up 57%. So once we look at these things, if you break it down, that first sentence is the real reason. The cost of everything has gone up, but wages have not gone up. So even if we just put it in perspective over the last 2 years, we have seen that governments had to print 50% more money, US and Canada. The price of homes, gas, food, all your stuff is up huge percentage points. In some cases double, 50%, but 50% is pretty fair. But I'm pretty sure your wages have not moved. And that means they're just the crunch on you, just trying to be able to afford everything. And it's going to get harder and harder. And this is just starting. This is going to continue on, right? We're actually seeing the world splitting in two as the BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. There's now talk of others joining that coalition to actually operate on their side because they don't have the economies that maybe, say, US does, but they have all of the commodities that the rest of the world needs. So they have some real bargaining chips there. So as we see the world kind of splitting in two, it's going to be up to each side to kind of retool their economies to be able to handle all of this stuff. That's going to change the world as we know it. Now, this could work out good for some countries, and it could work out bad for some countries. No matter how it goes, there's going to be some rough, turbulent times, and we're going to see where it comes out. So as far as investing, you have to be investing really, really smartly now, taking risk off the table. Make sure that you're always taking profits and lowering your risk profile when it comes to buying homes, when it comes to buying properties, commercial properties, income properties, or stocks. Whatever you're going to be buying, try to take off that really risky stuff off the table. You know, that's a big problem generationally is the American dream, the Canadian dream, whatever you want to refer to it as, is always that it's not having a white picket fence and a dog and 2 kids. That's not what it is. It's the option for upward mobility, like that if I work hard, could make my life slightly better. I can make my kids' life slightly better than I had. And that's the Canadian, American dream, or whatever you want. Just the option to be able to grow. But now that inflation is taken off like crazy and wages are stuck, what does that do? That leaves you stuck in one spot, unable to get out. And that's what we have to prevent. We want you to keep growing and keep doing well. And that's what our whole channel is about, is encouraging you to keep going and pushing your skills up so that you can break free of that and still give that upward mobility and improving your life. That's what we want. Anyway, as you know, I'm always here for your health, wealth, and happiness. If you even know one person that this helps, try and send it out for me. Please like and subscribe to it, and I'll see you on the next one.